Hi there, this is Jane here to put down our cards for next week, which is the week commencing at 25th of January. So this will be the last weekend, no, it won't be the last weekend, the next weekend will be the last weekend that I use these decks, and then I'll change them up for February. So what I'm going to do is to have a little shuffle of the black and white Faulkner deck and see what we have for next week. Okay, so I'm merrily dropping all of my cards all over the floor. So bear with me just 1 second while I pick them all up. So, here we go. Let's try not to chuck them around now. Okay, so we have one that's actually jumped out of the deck, so we'll use that one. And it is the Two of Wands. So, Two of Wands is a fantastic card. It's all about making progress, new beginnings, taking things to the next stage is what I want to say with the Two of Wands. Sorry, just 1 sec. I've been a bit croaky this last couple of days, so excuse me if I'm a bit sniffly. I'm going to try not to be sniffly, but I might be a bit sniffly, so apologies in advance for that. So Two of Wands is a card that talks about progress. It can talk about, like you can see, he's there signing on the dotted line for something, so it can be really firming something up. In terms of a relationship, it can be the energy of really taking that next step. So kind of being a bit more committed, making something official, that kind of thing is what we have with the Two of Wands. It's a good, strong, progressive energy, the Two of Wands. So it really, really does talk about moving things forward. I don't know whether we had this last week or whether we've had it very recently, because I seem to remember saying to you about the wedding ring and the watch on this card. If I'm drawn to the wedding ring, then we'll often be talking about romance. We'll be talking about a romance that is getting more serious. If it's the watch, then I get drawn to, it can be talking about a time period. The Two of Wands can talk about a time period of around about 2 weeks. So it'd be interesting to look back, actually. I'll do that to see whether we had this last week, which would make sense because we'd be talking about a 2-week time period. So good, strong, positive energy with the Two of Wands. Don't be afraid to go for what you want, is what my guide is saying. So I'm just going to pop down one of these lovely Witch's Wisdom cards. I love this deck. I'm really, really glad I got it. Let's have a little look and see. Okay, so I've got one that's jumped out there as well, so we'll have that one. We've got the Five of Earth. I'm absolutely convinced that that's what we had last week. So as you can see with the Five of Earth, we've got the hair again. Kind of, I feel like with this card, it's almost like overcoming things. I feel like there is overcoming what is there. We've got the skeleton underneath. This looks like all the little babies. So I'm just going to have a little look in the book and see what the what it says in the book about this Five of Earth, this version of the Five of Earth. Because normally the Five of Earth in the tarot, to me, would be sort of talking about maybe some lack or feeling a bit left out. But that image doesn't really seem to be saying that to me. So I'm just going to have a quick look and see, because I know this is quite a different system. So it says the Five of Earth. It says here, one thing becomes another. So yeah, this is life, death, rebirth, reduce, reuse, recycle, don't be greedy. So it says pay attention to what you're consuming and why. Pay attention to the waste you're creating. There is no waste in nature. Everything is returned to Mother Earth and to be remade. So that's very clear from the image there, that that's what that meaning is all about. But I felt like I was jumping over things when I was in that hair energy. So it might well be to do with being able to do that as well, to overcome that loss, and then to start again, then to restart, re-begin, and all of that kind of energy. So really, really nice card. Really like that. So now I'm just going to have a little shuffle and pop down one of Ian Doty's beautiful cards, his oracle cards. And just have a little look and see what this lovely oracle has got in store for us today. Let's just move this over so that we can try and keep it within the frame. This is the one that I've got today, which is number 39. So I'm just going to have a little look and see what Ian had to say about this deck. I had to say about this card. So I'm a bit garbled today. I can't seem to get my words out. I'm having a bit of trouble with forming my sentences. So 39. So this is a card that says, it reminded me a little bit of the Three of Cups. You know, those three people in the Three of Cups, kind of dancing around together. It reminds me of that a little bit. And the message in this card is, be true to what you hold dear. Friendships should be cherished and nurtured. Friends become family and support network. Really important in, you know, in the situation that we're dealing with at the moment, is that kind of support network. It says the amount of love you carry in your heart emits a beautiful light and people are drawn to you. Through the card, though the card does not portend any misgivings, it is, however, asking you to choose your friends wisely. So absolutely, how many people have experienced that in this current situation? You know, really finding out who your friends are, people surprising you, either by not being as friendly as you thought they were, or by being more friendly than you thought they were. So it's a really interesting energy to have a look at. So definitely there's an energy of support. Two of Wands would talk about being in a supported situation, because there are probably two of you. The Five of Earth can mean that feeling of being a bit out in the cold, but actually you're really not out in the cold. The help is there for you. Just have to look for it, just have to invite it in, and also believe that you're worthy of it, and accept help when it's given. It's not easy for some people to do that. I'm just going to have a little shuffle of Brian's deck and pop down a Brian card to go with these. Let's see what Brian's got to say. Oh, well, that's interesting. So it would seem as if the messages today are talking about help. So as an overall energy, the Brian card says, a problem shared and all that. You don't have to stress this on your own. Speak to someone, get advice, and be open to new ideas. So a Two of Wands would talk about that. It would talk about being supported. It would talk about there being not just you. The Five of Earth would talk about you maybe feeling like it's just you, when really it isn't just you. The number 39 card that Ian produced in his beautiful symbolic aura oracle, it's talking about friendships. It's talking about choosing your friends wisely. And Brian is talking about the same thing. So it looks as if we've got a message to this week coming of not being afraid to ask for help and being open to that help when it comes, because sometimes it's not easy to accept, A, that you need it, and B, that you are worthy of receiving it. There's a lot of worthiness there as well. But that five, I keep getting drawn back to that Five of Earth card. And I just kind of feel like I just want to be saying that, I don't know, I don't know why, but I keep getting all things end, but there's always a new beginning. That's what I keep being given about that. You know, and I think we are feeling like a lot of us are feeling like we're in a situation currently where seems like there's no end in sight to this awful blooming virus situation, and people are getting fed up with being locked down, and it's making people really grumpy and aggressive, and it's bringing out the worst in a lot of people. It's, to be fair, it's bringing out the best in a lot of people too, but there just seems to be a lot of nastiness around at the moment that we really don't need. You know, there will be a rebirth, and hopefully we can, as a species, come out of this and create something nice afterwards. But there is a lot of loss currently, and that is a really, really sad thing. But lots of energy in these cards that is positive. So have a really good week next week. If you have enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Do share it and do subscribe. And I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.